She is widely known as the Doctor for Aente. To those who do not know her true origins, she is a Lunarian, a goddess to boot. And to Raisin, let's just say, punishment time is not a line she really wants to hear from her master's mouth. I will refer to said doctor as Eirin. Hello, Magi here, and welcome back to another episode of Character Profile, the series where I take an in-depth look of a character from games, print work, fan-related stuff, or anything that can be attributed to the Lunarian doctor known as Eirin. So, without further ado, let's begin the character profile for Eirin Yagokoro. Name and their meaning. Starting off the bat, let's look at Eirin's name. Her full name is Eirin Yagokoro. The characters for Yagokoro literally means 8 minds, and Eirin is eternal jewel. 8 is a sacred number, especially for ancient Japanese, and it could mean sacred, numerous, and infinite. For example, Yakumo is 8 clouds, and Yashima is 8 islands, and Gokoro is an ancient reading for what I just posted, which could indicate something about heart or mind. So her whole name could mean, oh boy, get ready for this, intelligence of eternally clear brightness over infinitely extended area, referring to be the mind of God. Or you could sum it up to she's fucking smart to save us time. It's revealed in Silent Sinner in Blue that Eirin is merely her Earth name. Her true Lunarian first name is unpronounceable by the impure, aka Earthlings. How hard could it be? Wait, given my history with pronouncing the girl's name, it might be best we don't know. Don't want to piss off more people than usual. Her last name is Yagokoro in both cases. She is very much implied to be Omoi Kane. Omoi Kane is a Shinto god of wisdom and intelligence. Well, I can't deny that part given what I'll be discussing later on. Character appearance. Let's view how Eirin has looked over the years. Eirin has dark gray eyes, long silver hair, has a large braid on her back, and carries a strange pair of bow and arrow. Her clothing is red and blue and is covered with constellation patterns. She also wears something similar to a nurse's cap. Eirin's clothing has trigrams broken in solid yin-yang lines lining the bottom hem. They appear to be the complete set of trigrams used in feng shui and match the set of trigrams on the Hakuro. It would be even cooler if Eirin could shoot out massive sparks. Appearance in games and print work. Her first appearance would have to be in Imperishable Night. In this game though, you had 2 routes to choose for the final stage. Both will lead you to fight Eirin, but with different outcomes. If you choose Route A, you will face Eirin as both the mid-stage boss and the final boss. If you choose Route B, however, you'll face her again as a mid-stage boss, but you'll be facing Kaguya as the final boss. Pretty much, Eirin caused the whole event as she attempted to seal the passage between Earth and the Moon, which opens up every full moon. By casting a spell that would seal the earth inside a chamber, similar to a Chinese folktale about a paradise found inside a pot, she only meant to do this to protect both Kaguya and Raisin so that the emissaries coming from the moon wouldn't be able to reach them. But this did not go unnoticed by the various yokai in Kinsokyo who enjoyed the moonlight. We do see her in Phantasmagoria of Flower View, but they're only in endings. In Shoot the Bullet, Eirin battles against Aya while the Tengu tries to photograph the Lunarian spell cards. Eirin is in stage 9-1, 9-3, 9-5, and 9-7. She appears in Scarlet Weather but only in Raisin's ending. She's in Hopeless Masquerade as a background character in the Human Village stage. There she's joined with Tae, Kaguya, and Raisin, and she appears to be drinking something. In Legacy, she has a more important role while not being a playable character. She's mostly in the backstory. Believing that an invasion from the Lunarian was occurring, she set things up for Raisin, Reimu, Marissa, and Sanae by creating the Ultramarine Orb Elixir. I mean, fuck! She's bloody responsible for a whole new type of gameplay, the Point Device mode. Not everyone can say they made a new game mode. She makes another appearance in an ending though. Let's see Eirin when it comes to the print work. In Extra of the Wind, she has a small cameo with Kaguya at what appears to be Aente. In perfect memento, Akyu makes an article for her, but she is not wary of Eirin's true origins like many residents of Gensokyo. In Silent Sinner in Blue, she's more prominent there as a secondary character. Hell, we probably see her more in that series than we ever will for the entirety of Touhou. She's also in the grimoire of Marissa, as said magician had an article for the Lunarian. In Inaba of the Moon and Inaba of the Earth, she's a main character. Like mentioned in my Raisin profile, with the nature that this print work is, you may or may not count it as canon to the series. I'll leave that up to you. Regardless, it's still best I mention it. In Wild and Horn Hermit, she has a few cameos. She shows up in chapter 31, 34, and 35. In Forbidden Scrollery, she has even less appearance as she only appears twice. She's in chapter 21 and 34. In Strange Creators of Outer World, she's in volume 2 in a profile section, cross review section. And for the last of the appearance currently, she's showing up in Visionary in chapter 5. Personality. So Eirin is an enigmatic person surrounded by many mysteries, and her answers regarding the mysteries about her are incoherent replies. Sounds like almost everyone's backstory. She is generally a fairly pleasant person and is devoted to serving her best friend Kaguya, but she does not suffer fools gladly, and because of her incredibly high intelligence, she can come across as conceited, impatient, and condescending at times to those not sharp enough to follow her explanations immediately. Well, remind me not to have a conversation with her. I get the feeling she wouldn't enjoy it. However, she also seems to lack general common sense, most likely due to her not living with humans. You'll gain it. Maybe. Probably not. Occupation / jobs. Let's look at what Eirin's been doing for a while. After the events of Imperishable, Eirin has began using her knowledge of medicine to act as Gensokyo's premier pharmacist, selling medicines at Aente ranging from sleep aids to various cures. You can visit her like you visit a normal doctor, and she can even prescribe medicine for obscure illnesses. When you can cure death, illnesses seem like child's play. Her medicines are well known to work with no side effects, though yokai medicine and human medicine must never be mixed together. That's understandable. It's reasonable to believe her medicines come from the moon or are developed with lunar technology. The medicine is not only effective but fairly priced. Fortunately, Eirin is not fussy about payment. She will most likely wait until you pay her. I mean, she's a bloody immortal. She's got all the time in the world, and more. Still, it is believed that Eirin may have another reason for starting this business other than profit. I would not doubt that. General information / backstory. Let's focus on Eirin before she came to Gensokyo. A long time ago, Eirin was the Sage of the Moon. With her high intelligence and the aid of the former Princess of the Moon, Kaguya, she created the Horai elixir and gave it to her. As a result, Kaguya was exiled to Earth as a punishment for drinking the elixir. A few years later, Kaguya had been allowed to return to the moon and, along with other Lunarians, Eirin was sent to Earth as an emissary from the moon. Eirin felt sorry for Kaguya because she herself wasn't punished, even though she was the one who made the elixir. Her desire for redemption was so strong that she was ready to do anything for Kaguya, and so she killed all the other emissaries and decided to live on Earth with Kaguya as her punishment. While it's nice that you helped out Kaguya, you're still an ice-cold killer, Eirin. After living a few hundred years hidden in the bamboo forest of Gensokyo, her whereabouts were discovered by the moon and led to the Eternal Night Incident. But at the time the incident was resolved, she came to know that even if she did not try to hide the moon, the envoys of the moon wouldn't be able to come here. She has been living as a resident of Gensokyo thereafter. With her backstory covered, let's look at the Lunarian as a whole, as that would help us understand Eirin a bit more. Thousands of years ago, the original Lunarians consisting of Lord Tsukiyomi and his most trusted relatives, including the older Eirin, came from the Earth to the moon. They were able to do so because they had the revelation that the world was built on probabilities and anything could happen, allowing them to artificially increase the probability that living beings on Earth would find their way to the moon. Their reason was to leave the impurity that was ravaging the land. It's somewhat implied that the original Lunarians were humans, as the Lunarians resemble humans in most ways to the point where they can live as humans, functionally speaking, on Earth, and are classified as humans in perfect memento. However, the author Q does not seem to be aware of the extraterrestrial origins of the people being classified as such. However, Lunarians are closer in nature to hermits or celestials than normal humans. They naturally live much longer lives and are even said to live forever. They are not true immortals, however, and may die eventually due to unnatural causes, such as accidents or battles. If the immortality ain't like Kaguya's, Eirin's, or Moku, then it's just low tier immortality. Lunarians also allegedly have superhuman stamina and abilities beyond even yokai of the earth, and possess some of the most advanced technology that there is. Kinda curious of what they have now. Supposedly, according to Kaguya, the Lunarians are the originators of magic and yokai on Earth, creating yokai in order to regulate the Earth's filth. However, Yukari has an alternate origin of yokai, saying a narrative to herself that it was the moon's dim light which gave birth to the yokai in a manner of speaking, by causing humanity to fear and create legends about them. The two explanations are not entirely mutually exclusive and may be as a result of differing outlooks or parts on the matter. For example, the Lunarians may have purposely dimmed the moon's light to make humanity's fears create the yokai. The lunar capital appears to have a mix of Chinese and Japanese architecture and dress styles, but the extent of the connection between Lunarians and those cultures is unknown. Titles! This is going to be a very short section, but let's do this. She's got Brain of the Moon, can't deny that, Town Pharmacist, and Horai Pharmacist. Yeah, that's about it. Told you it would be short. Possessions! The closest things to possession she has are the bow and arrow we saw her in Imperishable. With her few appearances, we haven't seen her actually shoot with her bow except for an illustration in the Grimoire of Marissa. Abilities/powers. Let's see what the Brain of the Moon is capable of. For one, she's able to make any drugs. She can make all sorts of drugs/medicines, from medicine for the ordinary cold to drugs that can manipulate dreams. As one would expect, she is not able to make medicines that would require a physically impossible process in order to produce, nor can she make the medicine if she does not have the ingredients. Although she did make the Horai elixir, she made it using Kaguya's ability. Never hurts to ask for help when creating something, especially immortality. Another would be that she's a natural genius. Eirin is said to be highly intelligent and considers other people to be less smart than her. Given what you're capable of, I ain't gonna say shit. Furthermore, the Yagokoro family is said to be a line of medical geniuses, and even among them, Eirin is exceptionally intelligent. Due to this, Eirin is rarely understood by others. The curse of being fucking smart. Not that I can relate to, of course. If it wasn't clear enough from the beginning, one of her key abilities/powers is her immortality. It is not specified in her profile, but Eirin reveals to Yuriko in Imperishable that she drank the Horai elixir, and in the final Route A of all teams, Kaguya helps Eirin after she is defeated the first time, shouting out that the heroines won't forget what is going to happen, referring to both the Horai elixir and Eirin's true power. This confirms that Eirin consumed the elixir and has become an immortal like Kaguya and Moku. Immortals unite! Aside from her medical knowledge, Eirin seems to be very skilled in various forms of magic. For instance, in Imperishable, she sealed the whole earth, preventing anything or anyone from reaching or leaving it. Additionally, she replaced the full moon with a fake one that was able to mislead the heroines with an illusion. According to herself, doing this was hardly her most powerful spell, meaning that she is probably able to use other types of sorcery that are far more stronger than this. It would be best not to mess with this Lunarian in the future. Music! So Eirin doesn't exactly have much when it comes to music. Her stage theme from Imperishable Night, which is also played for Kaguya's stage, is Voyage 1969. Her boss theme is Gensokyo Millennium, History of the Moon. Her last music track is called Voyage 1970. This only plays during Eirin's last spell card. We also hear this as well in Kaguya's last spell. Spell cards. Now this section had to be changed as Eirin has never had a playable appearance, so instead we'll be looking at her spell cards. Throughout the game, just to note, I will be mentioning both versions of the spell cards if they have it. For those not wary of it, Touhou, depending on the difficulty, will have spell cards with two different names. Now Eirin is the mid-stage boss for both routes, but she uses different spell cards for those. If you chose Route A, which is focused on Eirin, you'll deal with Space Sphere, Earth in a Pot. If you choose Route B, which is focused on Kaguya, you'll deal with Medicine Sign, Large Galaxy in a Pot. With the mid-stage part dealt with, let's look at her when she's the final boss. For her first spell card, it's Awakening God, Memories of the Age of the Gods, on Easy and Normal. On Hard and Lunatic, it's called God Sign, Celestial Genealogy. Her second spell card is called Seimei Yugi Life Game, on Easy and Normal. On Hard and Lunatic, it's called Resurrection Rising Game. Her third spell card is Leading God Omoi Kane's Device, on Easy and Normal. On Hard and Lunatic, it's called Mind of God Omoi Kane's Brain. Her fourth spell card is Curse of the Heavens, Apollo 13. This name is the same in all four difficulties. Her fifth spell card is Esoteric, Astronomical Entombing. This name is the same in all four difficulties. Her last spell card is called Forbidden Arcanum, Horai Elixir. Here, Kaguya joins up with Eirin in trying to take you down. Since this is a last spell, the moment you arrived here, you've pretty much beaten the game. This part is mostly for bonus reasons. She has a few more spell cards in Shoot the Bullet. I mentioned that she was in stage 9-1, 9-3, 9-5, and 9-7. We'll be excluding stage 9-1 as it doesn't have any spell cards. So for stage 3, her spell card is called Medicine Sign, Butterfly, Dream Pill, Nightmare type. For stage 9-5, her spell card is called Elixir Mercury C. And lastly, for stage 9-7, her spell card is called Secret Elixir Lunar Incense. Relationships. Let's see the friends and the sorts Eirin has made throughout her long life. If we're talking about Eirin, we certainly got to mention the homies she did practically everything for. From creating the Horai elixir to killing emissaries, Kaguya Horizon. Eirin is Kaguya's servant and friend. After doing the things I briefly mentioned, she helped Kaguya to go into hiding, which eventually led the two to Aiente. Now she serves Kaguya faithfully at Aiente. Well, you can't say Eirin ain't a bro, because that's some pretty heavy stuff to do for one person. Next would be one of the two main rabbits from Aiente, Raisin Idongain Inaba. As of now, Raisin is Eirin's apprentice/servant. Eirin has employed Raisin's telepathic abilities to gain intelligence on the lunar capital. She also sends Raisin to the human village to sell her medicine. In the Inaba series, Raisin is sometimes subjected to punishment time, but again, the canonicity of the series is debatable, so this fact may or may not count depending on what you believe in. Speaking of rabbits, let's switch to the other one, Tei Inaba. Now Tei's relationship with Eirin gets a little more interesting. Tei made a deal with Eirin to defend Aiente in exchange for Eirin imparting her knowledge to the rabbits. Thus, Eirin is an ally, employer, and teacher to Tei, and Tei appropriately addresses her as master. Eirin realizes Tei's importance to Aiente due to her control over the rabbits, and despite Tei's pranks, knows that Tei is there for them whenever they need her, should the circumstances arise. When Tei isn't being an asshole, she's actually reliable. Let's look at two of her students who are still residing in the lunar capital, Watatsuki no Yorihime and Toihime. Distantly related to Eirin through marriage to their unnamed husbands. One of the Watatsuki sisters was the wife of Eirin's grandnephew, another was married to the son of another grandnephew. Eirin was also their teacher, whom they treat with much respect and admiration, despite Eirin being a fugitive. Of note is that Toihime and Yorihime never refer to Eirin Yagokoro as Eirin, but only as Lady Yagokoro, as Eirin is not her true Lunarian name. Interesting thing about that is Eirin appears to have siblings. How much we don't know, but they do exist, or else she wouldn't have grandnephews to begin with. So this next relationship is the most curious of them all. Now Sakuya Izayo's relationship with Eirin sparks mostly questions. Why? Well, in the events of Imperishable, Sakuya is one of the few people who knows that Eirin and Kaguya are from the moon, and presumably keeping it a secret. Eirin's profile state Eirin is surprised to see Sakuya, but only Eirin knows why. Sakuya has not shown any abnormal interactions or familiarity with Eirin that could hint at what this is. She was suspicious of Eirin during the rocket party in Inaba of the Moon and Inaba of the Earth, but so was everyone who knew Eirin was from the moon. Let's switch it to the puppeteer of the series, Alice Margatrode. She has a small relationship with Alice as she had purchased some pills called the Butterfly Dream Pill from Eirin. Alice is a recurrent customer, I might add. Those dreams must be legit. Fun/interesting facts. We're in the interesting facts section, so let's see what Eirin has up her sleeve. Or not. Let's look at the emissaries I was talking about. Eirin's profile states that she killed the other messengers sent with her. Kaguya's profile describes these messengers as emissaries. Later official works would state that the moon rabbits are trained as lunar emissaries, and it is unconfirmed if any of the emissaries were Lunarians. Given that rabbits are viewed merely as tools by the Lunarian, this may explain why the severity of murdering the other emissaries isn't emphasized whenever Eirin's crimes of helping the princess come up. Eirin has also made it clear in both Cage in Lunatic and Chapter 2 in Silent Sinner that she has no qualms with killing moon rabbits should situation make her go to such lengths. Fuck! Raisin, you hear that? If the situation calls for it, you a dead motherfucker. Eirin has a spell card named Apollo 13 after the aborted 3rd American moon mission launched in April 1970. The spell card's spell sign is Curse of the Heavens and seems to imply that it was Lunarian magic, not mechanical failure, that critically damaged the spacecraft and forced it to abandon its lunar landing so as to forestall the invasion. It's also stated that the Lunarians know why the number 13 is cursed. Eirin in Silent Sinner reveals that the Apollo series failed because the sun, aka Apollo, is incompatible with the backside of the moon, and Cage in Lunatic's 2nd chapter mentions Lunarian technology while talking about the humans' failure to establish a base on the moon. implying Lunarian sabotage. Well, damn! These moon people don't fuck around. In Inaba of the Moon and Inaba of the Earth chapter 13, it is seen that Eirin wants to dissect and or experiment on Suwako due to her similarities to a frog. You know, as crazy as it sounds, I don't blame Eirin for thinking so. In Tibetan Buddhism, the bow held in the right hand with an arrow in the left as Eirin holds them is a symbol of wisdom as a means of projecting method or skillful means. While that's the case, at the very least, Eirin is right-handed as the picture illustration for Eirin in the grimoire from Marissa shows her shooting with her right hand. The last fun fact will be regarding her age, and trust me, the information I'm about to present to you will be a doozy. So it's mentioned that Eirin is older than Tsukiyomi as said by Toyohime in Cajun Lunatic. Tsukiyomi is the son of Izanagi. The three noble children, Amaterasu, Tsukiyomi, and Susanoo were born when Izanagi returned from his terrible quest to meet the dead Izanami and cleanse himself. In other words, they were born quite some time after Izanagi and Izanami had created the islands of Japan. According to Izanagi Object, Neo-Traditionalism of Japan, Izanagi and Izanami created Japan 25 million years ago, so Eirin's age might be on a time scale comparable to that. Before you shit your pants about that, there's some grounds we need to cover. While we know Eirin is older than Tsukiyomi, we don't know if Touhou Tsukiyomi is the same as the one from our world's Shinto myth. Everything I mentioned is on the basis if the Shinto religion is the same as Touhou's, but that's something that's never been confirmed. In the Touhou universe, Tsukiyomi is only referred to as a sage, not a god. It is unconfirmed if he is godlike he was in the actual Shinto myth. While this is not 100% true, if in the future it's ever mentioned by Zune that Touhou's and our Shinto mythology is true, then it would place Eirin's age to about 25 million years ago. And holy fuck is that old. Fanon stuff. Let's switch it to the Fanon stuff, where the fun always is. Eirin is often shown in fan works as using the many rabbits at Iente, especially Raisin, as test subjects for various drugs and medicines. And according to Cajun Lunatic, she actually does sneakily give medicines to the rabbit. It would very likely be harmless to them, especially compared to what Raisin goes through in Fanon, and that shit ain't exactly pleasant. Eirin is often placed as a doctor or nurse in fanworks for obvious reasons, sometimes making references to Dr. Mario. Now we just need a fan game about that and we're good to go. She is often grouped with Yukari and Konako among the fandom because their names contain the character Ya, which when misread means old hag, and you know that shit ain't going to stop anytime soon. She's generally portrayed as a beautiful, shapely woman with a cold personality in various fanworks, though warmer renditions exist. Watch out, looks can be deceiving. Pairings. With the Fanon stuff out of the way, let's look at the pairings. With everything she did, this pairing should be of no surprise. Kaguya and Eirin are Teru. Yo, I don't know why it's called that, but let's roll with it. Eirin's devotion to Kaguya is such that she is willing to do anything Kaguya asks of her, including violating the laws of the moon to make her immortal. That's an understatement. The phrase Teru wa kokoro no iyashi, Teru is the solace of the heart, is commonly used to declare support for Teru, immortals forever. Literally. A pairing you might not have expected is Eirin and Cain, or Eri Cain. Both are known for protecting the two immortals, plus both have great knowledge in a subject. Could be the result of Kaguya and Moku only worrying about their hate for each other. And lastly, for the pairings is Eirin and Raisin, or Eirin-gi. Eirin is frequently shown, even in the canonical Inaba of the Earth and Inaba of the Moon, to subject Raisin to medical experiments and corporal punishment. As a side note regarding Kaguya, Raisin's occupation as seen in the profile is Kaguya's pet. Not a fun time to be Raisin. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed Eirin's profile. It certainly wasn't as long as Yukari's, thank fucking goodness. What facts about Eirin did you enjoy most about learning? Do Do you believe Eirin to be the greatest genius for curing death? Do you think Eirin is an ice cold killer for having no problems killing them moon rabbits? And if both Shinto mythologies of Touhou and our world to be the same, do you think Eirin to be one old motherfucker? If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, or else Eirin might start experimenting on me, and fuck who knows how I'll handle that. Either way, this is Magi and thanks again for watching.